Still not practicing due to that hamstring injury that landed him on injured reserve, and he hasn't been activated off IR, so that tells you that the chances of him playing Sunday night are dropping by the day right now. And so that's not a great sign. They were hoping to get him back. I don't think he's far away from returning to Houston's lineup, especially Stephon Diggs lost for the year, but it doesn't look like right now, unless something changes, that Collins will be able to play on Sunday night. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions look like they could be inserting Zadarius Smith into their lineup. They traded for him this week. He's in shape. He's ready to play games. Hard to imagine they wouldn't have him out there making his Lions debut Sunday night in a game in which the Lions also will be getting back Jameson Williams, who has served his 2-game suspension, and now he is ready to return. So it could be Zadarius Smith and Jameson Williams as the Lions get ready to take on the Texans on Sunday night.
The Lions looking to start 8-1, you guys, for the first time since 1954. Woo! Okay, Lions safeties have been ball hawks this season. Kerby Joseph tied with Xavier McKinney for the most interceptions in the league. Brian Branch is tied for third. So Joseph and Branch are the first teammates with at least 4 interceptions each through 8 games since Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas did it for the Seahawks in 2013. Of course, that was part of the Legion of Boom, just for perspective. RC, how do you expect that Lions secondary to play against this Texans pass game on Sunday night?
Well, hell, if the Texans can't block nobody, I expect them to play really well. I mean, I think you look at what I really did enjoy about watching this pass game against the Green Bay Packers was the fact that they still brought pressure, but they were able to lock up with a very good skill group when you think about Amik Robinson and also Carlton Davis and what they were able to do. And then on the back end, without Brian Branch for much of the game, we watched Kerby Joseph go sideline to sideline as they inserted Brandon Joseph from Northwestern and also from Notre Dame. I love what these two safeties have done, though. I think Brian Branch, coming from that Alabama system where he played the star position, gave him a lot of that Minkah Fitzpatrick perspective where he can be a threat in the run front, but also make plays on the back end. And Kerby Joseph has been a ball hawk for a few years now in Detroit. And I think the freedom that he feels with Brian Branch doing all of the little things, some of those extra things, has allowed him to search the ball a little more this year than most.
RC, hearing you talk, I'm going to say it every week. Do not throw towards 32 and 31. I don't think you can. I want us to look into, as a show, when their interceptions happen, where are they in the middle of the field? I remember earlier in the season, the Steelers didn't throw over the middle of the field against the Falcons when they have Justin Simmons and I'm going to think of his name. Jesse Bates, excuse me.
Bates.
It feels a lot like that in Detroit. It feels like, as a pass game, Houston just can't throw over the middle of the field, and that's exactly where they want to more often than not. I think for Bobby Slowick, you so often you go into a game trying to call good concepts. You just want to call good concepts. I don't think you can do that this week. I think you really have to search matchups. I really do. It's like, how many different times can they just get Dalton Schultz not covered by Brian Branch? If he's covered by Brian Branch, I wouldn't throw him the football. Or Tank Dell. How many times can they get Tank Dell on Terrion Arnold? Mostly because he's the least experienced in their secondary. I truly feel Detroit has entered in that world. You can't throw the ball over the middle field that consistently against that defense.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, right, for any offense playing. That's why you really wish you had Nico Collins, and we'll keep an eye on that for sure. But, Marcus, we've talked at length about this Texans O-line and the issues Houston's having this season, but what exactly is the problem there?
Yeah, you talk about searching matchups. You search them damn guards, and you find them and you exploit them, like everybody else has been doing on this Houston Texans offensive line. RC alluded to it, and not only in pressure, but 4-man rush. I thought the Colts were gonna have. I thought we were gonna lose C.J. Stroud for the season against the Colts. But when you look at what the Detroit Lions have been doing, this is double A gap pressure. We've showed this to Kerby Joseph interception, but you force them to sort as well. The problem is it's a physicality issue, but it's also an assignment issue with the interior of the Houston Texans O-line. And then this is Aleem McNeil, fresh off a brand new contract. These are effective plays. I know that it's a great throw downfield, but inaccuracy matters when you start talking about getting interior pressure. Y'all, it's been a revolving door at this guard position.
Yeah.
They don't know what the hell to do, and they searching for answers. If I'm a defense and a defense coordinator, I'm exploiting it from quarter 1 through 4, but it's a major issue, and you can see, I talked about this with MK. You can see C.J. Stroud accuracy starting to falter because he's worried about getting hit when he stands in the interior of the pocket And this is the reason why.
Yeah, I would put him on the move as much as possible. He's great throwing on the move, and I've noticed that the Lions defense sometimes struggles to defend quarterbacks when they're able to extend, especially, all the man coverage they play on the back end. But I would do it out of survival for all the reasons that everybody's articulated. This offensive line situation, the interior of the offensive line in Houston is like red alert, SOS, code red, just an absolute nightmare. That Packers tape was eye-opening. And unfortunately, Marcus, you laid it out. It also lines up, unfortunately for them, poorly with what Detroit does well, which is rush the passer from the inside. The Lions don't have a dominant edge rush right now. We'll see if Zadarius Smith even plays, although Zadarius Smith is another guy who they like to, who moves inside very well, by the way. But that combination of defensive tackles led by Alim McNeil, who's been particularly fantastic, that is such a problem for this Texans interior offensive line.
And the one thing I also love about what Detroit has been doing is adding guys like Alex Anzalone to the rush, and also having opportunities to create those one-on-ones when Mina and Marcus are talking about the guards in the interior of that Houston Texans offensive line. I think this is a terrible matchup for the Texans, especially not having a Steph and a Nico on the outside who can beat one-on-one coverages quick off of the line of scrimmage.
Adam Schefter told us we may see Zadarius Smith on the field this weekend, so we'll see if it ends up happening that way.